Back in middle school and high school, my friends and I would get our favorite gaming system of choice and lug over our boxy, heavy CRT TVs and monitors and just sort of gather around in a communal space that way and game together. It was a lot of fun, but not the most convenient thing in the world. Fast forward to today, and yeah, I really wish I had something like this when I was a kid. This is the portable Xbox Series S monitor from the folks at DEPGI. DEPGI? I don't know, it's DEPGI, and we're gonna call it DEPGI for the remainder of this video. As of recording this video, you can currently pick one of 3 different spec versions of this monitor, including 2 1080p versions, one at 11.6 inches and the other being at 12.5, and then you have the more expensive 1440p option, measuring at 15.6 inches, which is what we received here for this review. Out of the box, you get the monitor itself, along with some plastic side panels, some documentation, and a remote, both of which I seem to have misplaced somehow. You also get a short HDMI cable, some additional hardware for assembly purposes, and lastly, you have a power supply, but more on that later. Assembling the portable monitor was pretty straightforward, just follow the included instructions. You just put the Series S into place and attach the side panels like so, clip on the included brace, and screw the panels into place on the side here. While making this video, I also seem to have misplaced the screws as well, but I initially decided not to use them anyway because while not having the screws in does make it less secure, the metal brace seems to do a good enough job holding it all together, and not having the screws in makes it a lot easier to take the screen off if I want to hook the Series S up to, say, a TV or something. Anyways, after that, all you have to do is plug in the included HDMI cable into the monitor, plug in the power supply, and you're ready to play. And I gotta say, first impressions of this monitor are really solid. The shell is all plastic, but it doesn't come across as really cheap feeling, and honestly, it does a decent job of matching the Series S's aesthetic. As for the screen, it's an IPS screen with solid color accuracy and good viewing angles, at least to my eyes anyway, and playing games on it was a great experience. No noticeable latency or screen tearing that I saw of anyway, and 1440p with variable refresh rate works as expected. I also appreciate that this monitor isn't really glare heavy like you might see with certain external monitors or TVs. It's a more matted finish, which is very nice. I also appreciate how there are dedicated buttons for menu navigation, so I can still mess with the picture settings without having to rely on the remote that I also apparently misplaced.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
It's been a weird week. But yeah, there's not much else to say as far as image quality goes. I like it, it's a decent monitor. The monitor also includes built-in speakers. They don't sound great, admittedly, but they do the job just fine. As a bonus, there are 2 headphone jacks on the rear if you want to utilize those instead, although I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to just plug your headphones into your controller at that point instead. One slight downside with this portable monitor is that if you do want to play your Series S on, say, a TV, you are going to have to either leave the monitor extended open, or you're going to have to just completely remove it outright. This is because if you leave the monitor closed, it does sit flush on the main exhaust vent, which will cause significant cooling problems. It's not a huge deal, I suppose, at least for myself, because like I said, I left the screws off, so taking it apart and putting it back together when needed isn't really that big of an issue. But it is something to just kind of keep in mind. Now, the other gripe that some of you might have is that you don't like the idea of having to plug in both your Xbox and the monitor into its own outlet. While the DEPGI monitor does have a power supply for the wall, I really wanted to see if it was possible to run it off of USB power plugged into the Xbox. So I ordered this cable from Amazon to test my theory out, and well, yep, it works. Well, kind of. You see, the USB cable only outputs at 5 volts, which is less than what the included power supply outputs at. There seems to be a little bit of conflict between the power required for the monitor and the built-in speakers. I haven't exactly figured out what the appropriate balance is, but essentially if I have the brightness all the way up with the monitor and I try to crank up the volume, eventually the screen starts to flicker out. And this is simply just due to the limitations of drawing power through that USB cable. Now, of course, this isn't an issue when you use DEPGI's provided power supply plugged into your wall, but you know, for convenience sake of not having to plug in 2 individual things, it might be worth just, you know, kind of keeping the volume down or using headphones in your controller or something like that, just so you only have to plug in one thing. lastly, one side note sort of issue that I ran into with this monitor. The monitor is advertised to have HDR support. According to the Amazon listing, it supports HDR, but it doesn't seem to support HDR10 when trying to use it with the Series S. I did reach out to DEPGI to see if there was something else that I had to do to try and fix this issue. I have HDR enabled on this monitor, but for whatever reason, like I said, it just won't work with the Series S and it won't recognize HDR. So maybe it just doesn't support HDR10. I'm not sure. If I hear anything back from them, I will make sure to update with a pinned comment down below. HDR issues aside, I really do like this monitor, and I think it's really cool that we are now at a point where we can get good quality monitors like this that isn't solely relying on the gimmick alone to sell it. I think if you're looking for a way to play your Series S at a friend's house, at a hotel, or maybe you need something for the dorm or a cool desk solution, this could be a really cool option for you. Truth be told, the Series S is actually my son's Xbox, so what we ended up doing was ditching his old PC monitor and using the extra HDMI port, we just connected both his PC and the Series S to it, and it's worked out great as a little gaming setup. If you'd like to check out any of these portable monitors from DEPGI, I will leave Amazon affiliate links in the description down below for you to check out for yourself. And that about does it for this one, everyone. Thank you as always for watching the video and checking out the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on portable monitors like this. Do you think they're a little too gimmicky, or do you think they actually serve a cool purpose? Also, if you have any questions regarding this monitor that I neglected to talk about in this video, be sure to ask away in the comments down below. I'll try to get to as many as I can. As always, if you want to reach out to us, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or our Discord community server, all listed in the description down below. Be sure to let us know if you like this type of content or not by hitting that like or dislike button. And yeah, for all things tech, games, to really anything nerdy in between, be sure and subscribe to Digital Cynics. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next time. And one more thing, we did recently cross the 10,000 subscriber threshold, which honestly is just crazy to think about. And I just wanted to say real quick, thank you so much to everyone who's ever watched a video or checked us out. Honestly, it's really appreciated, and all the kind words and comments that you leave us, it's just really awesome. And you know, we really appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten over the years. And it's crazy to think that we have now reached such a big milestone for us, and hopefully we continue to grow from here. But yeah, just wanted to, you know, acknowledge everybody and say thank you so much again for your kind words and support. It really does mean a lot to us. All right, have a good one.